remember me. I remember you too. You stole my heart, so I'm gonna steal you for the first time in weeks. I feel good for the first time in weeks.
Hello and welcome to Show House, your favorite property show that talks to you as a buyer or seller. I'm your host, Kura Chiota, and together we're going to travel the country looking at some of the up-and-coming areas that could be your very next home. We chat to experts and get some advice on where to buy, when to sell, and how you can make the best decisions when it comes to your investment. Joining us in studio today are our resident experts, Mr. Aidan Bennett, who will inspire your creative thinking. Mark Banks will be, well, Mark Banks, in giving you advice on what to do with your property. And we welcome back Yashina Maharaj from SA Home Loans, who will give you the ins and outs of raising the moolah, the money, when financing your property. Coming up on today's show, we head down to the Vaal Triangle to see what riverside life is really like, and we open up that bag of emails that you sent in and answer some of those burning questions that keep you awake at night. Then we take a look at our inspirational property of the week. If you'd like us to feature your property on the show, if you've got any questions regarding the buying or selling of your home, email us pictures of your home and your question to showhouse@thehomechannel.co.za. Also remember to follow Home Channel SA on Twitter as well as on Facebook and use the hashtag Showhouse if you want to join in any of our conversations. Mark, you're a fun guy. You head out down there. You know, I can see you on the jet ski or water skiing,
No.
you know, all athletic and all that sort of stuff.
No, I'm not. None of those things. I do it normally in hotel rooms. What I do with the jet ski, I sort of now and then. No, I'm not a Vaal person, but everyone I know in Joburg, they go down to the Vaal, and they've been doing it for years and years and years. It's Joburg tradition. I suppose it's the closest we get to going to the sea, isn't it?
Aidan, talk to me about designing for waterfront access and use. You want to be able to wake up in the morning, have the meandering river gently meandering in front of you, but you want to access that, but then it comes with bugs and noise and all sorts of stuff. How do you put those two together?
I mean, Kura, being from Cape Town, I avoid anything with a triangle, Bermuda Triangle, Vaal Triangle. I really don't know much about the area. But I mean, there's always incumbent, pros and cons when, living in a space that's fronted onto a natural sort of wild area like the Vaal River. It comes with your incumbent problems like bugs and marine life, etc. But there's always ways to get around it. But I think, the pros far outweigh the cons.
We took our cameras down to the Vaal Triangle. Have a look at what we saw.
The Vaal Triangle is the geographic area south of Johannesburg, which has traditionally been the area that the Vaal Dam and the Vaal River flows through. It's known for its industry, being that there's coal mining here and a lot of steel industry. But because of the water sources that are here, it has become and is growing into a very well-known tourism destination.
Yeah, people come down to the Vaal because there's just so much to do. It's an outdoor heaven, basically. We've got the river with all the water sports. There is a skydiving facility that's just open, so you can do skydiving. There's so many golf courses around. There is go-karting tracks. There is mountain biking tracks. There is car racing tracks. Basically, you name it, you'll find it in the Vaal.
The major attraction to the Vaal is definitely the Vaal River. I mean, this is the premium water sports area in the country. 90% of your wakeboarders and slalom skiers and everything come from this area. It's very nice because the water level is always constant. And you've got 50 kilometers of boatable water here on this stretch, which is amazing fun, and it's ideal for water sports.
As a tourist destination, the Vaal has a lot to offer. Being that it's a large area, there's a lot of varied activities and a lot of varied services and things that people can participate in. Obviously the water being a main attraction, water sports playing a massive part. Of the last few years, we've seen an increase in the popularity of houseboats. People can obviously rent them for the weekend or overnight action on the water, which is something that's really popular along the water. And then there are those places where you can go and just spend the afternoon with your family, eating and drinking and just taking it easy.
I invested on water because I have a passion for water. I've always wanted to be really close to the water, and somehow no property that I saw was quite close enough for me. There's such a thing as the 100-year flood line, and you may not build a fixed abode below the flood line. This is not below the flood line. I'm floating. I'm actually floating. This is the closest thing to heaven for me. It's a proper house. I've got everything I could ever need here. And it's got engines and it goes. So as the water rises, I rise with it.
The Vaal Dam, which is further north, obviously the dam feeds the river, is a lot more spread out, and the lifestyle definitely seems to be more retired people or people who want to go and spend just the weekend or their holidays at the dam. So it is a lot more quieter, a lot more relaxed. Coming down on the river, it is a lot busier because people live and spend their everyday lives along the river. So it is a lot busier. Obviously on the weekends it gets very busy with the water sports, the jet skis and the skiing as well on the river. And no, that's really where it is. If you're looking for something a lot more quiet and relaxed, the Vaal Dam is really the area to go.
There are 15 complexes around the dam. You also have your private estates, of which this is one. Prices ranging from anything from 500,000 to 14 million, which this magnificent property is on the market for.
The area has changed quite a bit in the last 16 years that I've been here. The main difference is there's been a lot more physical building development on the river. When I was a lot younger, when I first started in this industry, there was a lot more open areas and a lot more open access to the public to the water, but that over the last few years has been bought up and actually developed into more private access. I believe that is just because the value of the land is so high and obviously continues to grow. But there are, around those, the other activities that are beginning to thrive, just off the river and just behind where the development or the greater development is taking place.
Waking up in the mornings, before school, going to have a ski, it's amazing.
What can I tell you? It's a perfect home for me. So you kind of got it all. But the most important thing for me is to have the river flowing right past my window, my door. I love it.
Now, Yashina, talk to me about raising money to buy a second property.
Kura, holiday homes and investment properties are usually deemed your secondary properties. So we would only finance up to 80% of the purchase price of your second home. And the reason for this is obviously you've already got an existing property, and with history we find that people would tend to flog in a financial situation their second homes first as opposed to their primary residence.
So you're de-risking it by putting in that equity.
That's correct.
What is it about Gautengers that makes them want to go? Is it because we live in ugly mine dumps that if we just get an opportunity Friday afternoon, pew!
I think at the moment, Johannesburgers, I think the thought of hearing the word water and then being able to see water and be able to feel it, I think that's a big plus. And for me, well, being a Banks, it's always very nice being near a river.
It's time to take a quick break. You can have a bit of a relax, but when we come back, we're going to be looking at a property that's in Westville in KwaZulu-Natal and looking at what elements make it gorgeous. We'll see you just now.
Looking for a new home in Malmesbury, Durban North, Linden, Parys, Ballito? We are the home loan specialists in every area.
Welcome back to Show House. We received so many emails from you asking for advice on what you can do to get the most out of your property. We have one such mail and it comes through from the Smiths of Westville. We have a lovely home, but it's come to the stage in our life where we need to sell up and move to something smaller. Should we sell our property that we've lovingly restored as a walk-in, walk-out, i.e. with furniture, or just sell it empty? Yash, if you put in an offer to purchase and it has furniture as part of the transaction, how does that wash out when it comes to financing?
Kura, we would only finance the actual home. because the valuer is going to go out and he's going to value the structure. So contents and furniture and that sort of thing would have to be in agreement between the buyer and seller outside of us financing the home.
Aiden, this is not really a fixer-upper, but if somebody came in and they'd taken the furniture out, how would you suggest that the new person, because I sort of saw like a theme going through that the bathrooms were themed to their bedroom, how does that like lock somebody into a particular style for a house?
It's tough to start off with someone else's furniture and then build from there. I always would recommend starting with a clean slate and a blank canvas.
Yeah.
You know, and certainly like a few small touches can go a long way. So just like repainting the space, taking it back to a neutral blank canvas, and then starting to redecorate from there.
The 5 bedrooms and that open plan, double volume level, that really appealed to me, Mark.
Good solid family home, you need lots of space and rooms and place to disappear from each other and create spaces and rooms for the rest of the family to be locked up in or left to do their own thing. And Westville, I think, it's self-sufficient as an area. It has everything. It has its own village, its own postcode, its own everything.
Got the pavilion
in
mall
fact, I think
around the
Westville
corner.
should have independence. I think it should be an independent state.
You are a secessionist at heart, sir.
Absolutely.
Let's keep us all together.
Absolutely.
Yash, there is a fully independent standalone guest wing that could actually be used to increase the revenue on the property. You could let that out. You know, I'd say, well, why must Granny stay for free? My mom must pay. call me a meanie, but it does have the opportunity to rent out and earn some additional income.
They could, but Kura, with a new purchase, if we've got people buying the property, then unfortunately we cannot use proposed income. It would be income based on what the applicant is earning at that point in time. But for the applicant's future affordability or future lending, further lending, accessing funds out their bond, then they could utilize that rental income by producing documentation, lease agreements, proof of the rental being banked in order to utilize that for affordability.
People spend a lot of time in the master bedroom, and I don't know, is that the heart of the home? Is that the showpiece? What do people typically do when they're coming to you with that blank sheet of paper and saying, Aiden, help us pimp up our property?
Look, I always believe the heart of the home lies in the kitchen and the lounge. It's primarily we spend most of your time. It's like that adage, you know, that goes, where's always the best place to be had in a party? It's always in the kitchen. You must remember that the main bedroom or the master suite is always that respite. It's the place that you go to, you know, really relax and get your hours of sleep in. You know, I think the majority of the spend is always in the kitchen and the main lounge. But the master bedroom always has that special touch, and that's where we really bring personality into the home.
Do you find entertaining a big driver when you're looking at a property, Mark?
I think it is from a sales point of view. I think space is very, very important.
Yes.
I'm not a great entertainer. I don't entertain.
You don't entertain?
At home, no, not at home. But I think having space like that, and when you said earlier that you could possibly use that as additional accommodation, also as a business in the area of Westville, with the amount of people that live in the area and the income group that they're in, you could have a tax consultancy office or a piano school or music school or sort of tertiary education sort of possibility, and one of those entertaining areas could be used for that, for teaching, for singing, for dance or whatever. There is the space to do it.
I think sometimes a large estate can be quite daunting to most people, specifically in old style architecture when you've got passages leading off to particular rooms. That's why you see, you know, contemporary design looks at, you know, having a much more centralized living space with, you know, the rooms all pairing with that instead.
Yes.
Yes, talk to me about age and stage in life cycle when applying for finance. The Smiths are downscaling. They've had this family home for 5 years. They've done it up lovingly, but they want to buy somewhere else. At the age of 57, can they apply for home loan finance?
They can apply for home loan financing, but what you've just said is so important, because people need to also realize, or applicants, future applicants need to realize that the term is a very, very important part of the home loan application. A young couple could go for 20 or 30 years, depending on the application and the qualification, and it obviously gives them a lot more leeway in terms of installment if the term is longer. But the Smiths at 57 would have to look at, they would qualify for a 20-year term, but obviously downscaling and downsizing, it would probably be in their best interests to shorten that term to retirement. but that would then obviously increase their installment. So affordability and qualifying criteria would apply depending on what they earn.
What is the cutoff age for bonds? I'm 55. I heard you say 57 earlier. So they're 57. It was like a...
Mark, we look at up to 70, but from 60 onward we would insist on life cover.
Right.
And obviously would look at your employment and salary and that sort of thing.
A 70-year-old with a 25-year payback bond period is a bit dicey, isn't it?
The period would decrease from 60 down to 10.
Well, it's time to play Price That Property. The way this works, you understand how we go. We've got the property that we've had a look at, your seasoned property brains, your money sense, your design aspect, what the market is looking for. You're going to give me a number and we're going to see which of you guys comes closest. So we're going to take a commercial break. I'm not allowing them to cheat. No copying. We'll see you on the other side and the mystery will be revealed.
Looking for a new home in Jacobsbaai, Umhlanga, Maboneng, Middelburg, Vaal Triangle? We are the home loan specialists in every area.
Welcome back. It's time to see which of our experts came closest to the actual price this property is being sold by Tyson Properties. I'm going to start with Mr. Mark Banks. Give me a number.
Today, only excluding contents. Is
Okay,
that with
let's do it two ways. Let's have it with contents and then without contents. Help me out.
without contents, 4,650,000 today.
Yes.
And then contents, extra 200,000.
Extra 200,000.
200,000.
Dude,
As is, take
did
the
you
lot.
see those window treatments? Those are 150,000 by themselves.
200,000. We're talking contents, talking auction prices here, and we're talking quick sale. We want to move the property. We don't want to sit on it. It's to move. It's not a museum.
And
we
ladies
want
and
to
gentlemen,
get
I
rid
have
of
a
it.
bid from Mark
And all
Banks.
done.
He's coming in.
4,850,000 with the contents today in Westville.
Well, talk some sense to the man. 4.250.
I'm going to go 4.25.
Inclusive, exclusive?
No, excluding the content and furniture and all of that.
5 bedrooms, 1,100 square meters. Westville, gorgeous. Look at the garden.
I know, Kura. I would say maybe another 350 for content and all of the extras. So yeah.
None of you picked up the gnome in the garden.
No.
Surely that doubles the value.
No, the gnome takes it down. The gnome has been attacked.
Excluding the contents, I think the contents, they're a bit dated.
Yes.
I would take them out, value it from scratch. 5 bedrooms in a nice area, make it upwards of 6 mil.
Jeez. Wow, okay.
Maybe I'm feeling rich this morning.
I think it's your proximity to greatness that gets you so close to the number.
Oh,
the number
geez.
came in at $6 million.
Wow. 6
Yeah.
million.
You wouldn't have
Well-
made it through the front door of the show house, my bro.
Well, there'll be a lot of show houses for that at 6 million.
Let's take a look at our inspirational property of the week.
Designing a bedroom is about creating a retreat. It's a personal space to relax and kick back. For interior designer Myra Kutsidakis, it's about creating a luxurious cocoon which reflects the personality of her clients.
A bedroom is a very personal space. It's where you get to express yourself. And the fun for me in designing bedrooms for my clients is that it has to be a reflection of them, their own chemistry, and their passions. This was a very young urban couple. Joburg, Cape Town came together. So we've obviously got that like bleachy white, kind of feeling you get from the coast, together with the luxury and a little bit of the gold of Josie, Egoli. So I think it's just a mix of textures, color, warmth, all the things that kind of make the heartbeat faster, but in a very personal bedroom kind of way.
Because they're given priority in a home, master bedrooms can become large, cavernous areas. By dividing up the space, it's possible to create a more intimate environment with dedicated zones, without losing that sense of grandeur.
An absolute obsession of mine with bedrooms is to take them from the concept of bedroom to bedroom suite. So this is the master suite of the house. Essentially what we have is the bedroom kind of lounge area. Then we've got this decadent acres of kind of cupboard space, every girl's dream. And then we've got the home spa bathroom element. So we've created a stunning ensuite bathroom dressing area, which is so decadent. It's almost like a home spa. Together with that, we've got a stunning outside area that kind of reminds us of like beachy or Cape Town kind of outdoor areas with a gorgeous lounging bed, 2 outside seating areas. Also onto this, as if that wasn't enough, we've actually got a stunning fireplace which creates both visual warmth but also the physical warmth in those winter days in Joburg when you actually might need it. This is the pajama lounge of the bedroom. So it's a really cool place just to crash in the morning or early in the evening with the beautiful fireplace, like toasty for the, those winter mornings. And then it also has this gorgeous chaise longue, which we designed to just like really invite repose. It's saying, come and sit here on me. So there's gorgeous wool, woven knotted, also woolen throw, the faux fur kind of cushions, velvet, just the textures make it so inviting. And everything seems to be at hand. You've got the brass tray with all your books, place to put down a cup of coffee. It's the kind of place you want to be at first thing in the morning or last thing at night. And then we've got a drinks cabinet, which has completely slide away, got the kettle, got all the bits, so that you've got the extreme comfort, but at the same time, it all just hermetically is kind of sealed away and you don't know it's there unless you need it. So the whole concept of the master suite is the luxury of a boutique hotel with all the comfort and convenience of a home.
The bedroom space is dominated by the bed, which is both the reason for the space as well as the main focal feature. As such, it's the starting point from which the entire design evolves.
Whenever we design, it's with the iconic idea, and a bed is honestly, it's the heart, it's the center of the room. So what we try and do is, number one, work with comfort, because at the end of the day, after all the smoke and mirrors are done, you just have to get back down to comfort. So what we wanted to do was create this gorgeously layered bed that is just an essay on tones and textures, gorgeous high thread count linens, beautiful throws, beautiful faux fur accents here and there, but then also contrasted with the sharp sleekness of the mirrors that flank both sides of the bed, the beautiful paneling that kind of anchors the bed. And then these very dramatic bedside lamps which are suspended from the ceiling. So it's all kind of a very moody, quite a sexy environment, but in that very subtle kind of way.
The color palette of this space is very neutral and elegant, creating a calming, peaceful atmosphere. To counter this, Myra's made use of contrasting textures to bring depth and interest to the design.
For this bedroom, I really wanted to have just an absolute textural, tonal play. So it's, we started with this Jerusalem stone. You know that feeling you get when you look out over the old city of Jerusalem, and it's all just blonde and gold and treacly and warm, which also reflects with our client's heritage. So we looked at that and we said, what if we had to do a room that just had all these fabulous minky textures of blonde, stone, sand, bone, all these colors coming together, but in 100 myriad collection of tones. So you've got velvet, you've got silk, you've got wool, you've got the Jerusalem stone, which is a bushwhacked limestone. All of that coming together, but then with all these reflective smoky textures. Smoky mirrors are a very clever way of extending the space, but also creating a very moody, slightly clubby and discreet atmosphere.
Designing a bedroom is less about making a statement as it is about creating a comfortable, honest space which takes into account the people who will live and love in that space.
In a way, it's the place where all the moments of your life are chronicled in there, and that's where I think it really gets a lot of meaning, is how you live your own private space, and there's no more intimate reflection of yourself than your bedroom.
Don't forget, if you'd like us to feature your property on the show, or if you've got any questions regarding the buying or selling or financing of your home, email us pictures of your home and the questions to showhouse@thehomechannel.co.za. Join us again next time where we tackle the property issues that are keeping you awake at night. From me and the team here, goodbye.
Won't remember me.